Did you know that one simple slip could change everything for a senior, sometimes even costing them their life? It's a scary thought, isn't it? We're not just talking about a bruised knee or a moment of embarrassment. Falls are the #1 cause of injury-related deaths for folks over 65 in the U.S. But here's the kicker. It's not always the fall itself that's the killer. It's what sneaks up afterward that can turn a tumble into a tragedy. Welcome to the Joyful Senior, where we're all about living our golden years with spunk, wisdom, and a little extra know-how. Today, we're diving straight into a topic that hits close to home: why most seniors die after a fall. 5 hidden dangers you must know. I'm not here to scare you. I'm here to arm you with the truth. You see, falls don't just leave us on the floor. They can set off a chain reaction of risks most people never see coming. We're talking silent health spirals, sneaky infections, and even money troubles that pile on when you least expect it. Over the next 45 minutes, I'll unpack 5 hidden dangers that make falls so deadly for seniors, backed by stats, stories, and tips you can use today. Plus, I've got a heartfelt story about Grandma Ellie from Ohio that'll make you laugh, tug at your heart, and maybe even inspire you to double-check that rug in the hallway. So grab a cup of coffee, settle in, and let's get started. Because your joy, your health, and your independence, they're worth fighting for. Let's do this together. Why most seniors die after a fall. 5 hidden dangers you must know. 1. The silent spiral of health complications. Falls aren't just about the moment you hit the ground. They're like the first domino in a line that can knock your whole health sideways. For seniors, a tumble can spark a silent spiral of complications that's tough to bounce back from. Think about it. A broken hip might seem like the big worry, but what about the blood clot that forms while you're stuck in bed? Or the pneumonia that creeps in because your lungs aren't moving like they should? According to the CDC, over 36,000 seniors die each year from fall-related injuries in the U.S. And it's not always the fall itself, but the aftermath that gets them. Our bodies just don't heal as fast as they used to, and little issues can snowball fast. I've seen friends shrug off a fall only to end up in the ER a week later with something they never saw coming. The hidden danger here is thinking, "Oh, I'm fine," when your body's quietly sounding the alarm. So here's my tip. Don't tough it out. After a fall, get a full medical checkup. Even if you feel okay, tell your doctor every detail, because catching those sneaky complications early could be the difference between a quick recovery and a long fight. You've earned these golden years. Don't let a fall steal them from you. 2. The danger of delayed medical emergencies. Picture this. You trip over the cat, catch yourself on the counter, and think, "Whew, that was close." You feel fine, so you skip the doctor. But days later, you're dizzy, confused, or worse. That's the hidden danger of delayed medical emergencies. Falls can plant a ticking time bomb you don't even feel. Take a subdural hematoma, a slow brain bleed. It's super common in seniors, especially if you're on blood thinners, and it might not show up for hours or days. By the time you notice, it's an emergency. I read about a guy in Texas who fell off his porch, laughed it off, and 2 days later, couldn't remember his own name. His family got him to the hospital just in time. The stats back this up. The National Council on Aging says falls cause over 3 million ER visits a year, and many are for issues that pop up later. The danger's hidden, because we're wired to think, no pain, no problem. Wrong. My advice? Set a 24-hour rule. If anything feels off after a fall, headache, nausea, anything, call your doctor. Don't wait. You're not being dramatic, you're being smart. Your grandkids still need you around for those bedtime stories. 3. Infections that sneak in after the fall. Here's a danger nobody talks about: infections. You fall, scrape your knee, or get a cut. No big deal, right? But for seniors, that little wound can open the door to some nasty stuff. Or maybe you're laid up in bed too long and your lungs get weak. Hello, pneumonia. Studies show it's one of the top killers for seniors after a fall, especially if you're immobile for days. Then there's sepsis, where an infection spreads through your blood, terrifyingly common and deadly. The CDC says over 1.7 million Americans get sepsis yearly, and seniors are at higher risk post-injury. Why is it hidden? We're so focused on the bruises, we miss the invisible germs sneaking in. I had a neighbor, sweet old Mr. Jim, who fell in his garage. He patched up a cut with a Band-Aid, but a week later, he was in the ICU with an infection nobody saw coming. Here's what you can do. Keep every wound clean, soap, water, antibiotic cream, and watch for fever, chills, or breathing trouble. If something feels off, don't wait it out. Call your doctor fast. You've got too many adventures left to let a tiny germ take you down. 4. The vicious cycle of more falls and injuries. One fall can set you up for another, and that's a trap too many seniors fall into. Literally. After a tumble, your muscles might weaken from sitting too much, or fear creeps in, making you hesitant to move. Next thing you know, you're wobbly and boom, down you go again, harder this time. The National Institute on Aging says seniors who've fallen once are twice as likely to fall again. It's a vicious cycle. Fall, lose confidence, skip exercise, get weaker, fall worse. I've seen it with my Aunt Sue. She tripped on a rug, got scared, and stopped her morning walks. 6 months later, she fell breaking her wrist. The danger is hidden because it's mental as much as physical. We don't realize how fear rewires us. Break the cycle. Start gentle strength exercises. Think chair squats or leg lifts with a physical therapist if you can. It's not about being a gym rat. It's about staying steady. You've got places to go. Don't let a fall keep you stuck on the couch. 5. The unexpected financial fallout. Let's talk money, because a fall can hit your wallet as hard as your body. Hospital stays, rehab, maybe even a caregiver if you can't manage alone, it adds up fast. And if your insurance doesn't cover it all, ouch. A study from AARP says the average cost of a fall injury for a senior is over $30,000. Some folks even lose their homes trying to pay. The danger's hidden because we don't think fall equals bankruptcy. Imagine this. You break a hip, spend weeks in rehab, and get a bill your Medicare didn't touch. Stress piles on, and that's as bad for your heart as the fall was for your bones. I knew a guy in Florida who fell, racked up debt, and had to fight insurance for months. Exhausting. Here's your move. Review your insurance today. Check if falls, rehab, and home care are covered. It's boring, sure, but it's your safety net. You deserve peace of mind, not a pile of bills. Let me tell you about Grandma Ellie from Ohio. At 78, she was the queen of her garden, always out there with her roses humming away. One sunny afternoon, she tripped over a hose, landed on her knees, and chuckled, "Oh, Ellie, you klutz." She dusted off and went inside. No big deal, right? But 2 days later, she felt dizzy. Her daughter noticed her slurring words and rushed her to the ER. Turns out that little fall caused a brain bleed, tiny but dangerous. Doctors caught it just in time. But recovery was rough, months of therapy, bills stacking up, and insurance arguing over every dime. Her grandkids brought her flowers from that same garden to cheer her up, and Ellie fought back with her usual spunk. She's still here, pruning roses at 80. Ellie's story shows how a fall's hidden dangers, like delayed emergencies and financial strain, can blindside you. But it also proves you can come back stronger with the right help. I've watched seniors like you light up rooms with your stories and grit, and it kills me to think a fall could dim that spark. But here's what gets me excited. We can outsmart this. With a little awareness and care, we can keep thriving. That's why I love bringing you these tips on the Joyful Senior, because you deserve every bit of joy these years can hold. Well, folks, we've just taken a deep dive into something that's tough but so important. Why most seniors die after a fall. 5 hidden dangers you must know. Let's recap what we've uncovered today on the Joyful Senior. We talked about the silent spiral of health complications, how a fall can kick off a chain reaction of trouble, from blood clots to pneumonia. Then there's the danger of delayed emergencies, those sneaky brain bleeds or organ issues that don't shout until it's almost too late. We dug into infections that creep in when you're down, like sepsis or pneumonia, and the vicious cycle of more falls that can trap you if you let fear take the wheel. And don't forget the financial fallout, those bills that hit harder than the floor itself. Through Grandma Ellie's story, we saw it all come to life. A little tumble in her Ohio garden turned into a wake-up call with dizzy spells and a fight with insurance. But she made it through. And that's the heart of it. These dangers are real, but they don't have to win. Here's the truth. You've got the strength, the smarts, and the spirit to stay ahead of this. Your golden years, they're meant to be full of joy, not fear. A fall doesn't have to be the end of the road. It can just be a bump if you know what to watch for and act fast. That's why I'm so glad you're here with me on the Joyful Senior. So let's keep this going. Hit that subscribe button right now for more tips to thrive, not just survive, in these amazing years. Share this video with someone you love, your kids, your neighbor, anyone who needs to hear it. And drop a comment below. Have you or a loved one faced a fall? What got you through? I read every single one, and I'd love to hear from you. Until next time, keep shining, keep moving, and let's make these years the best yet. See you soon.